Kana Hobnobby relatives, Membiwa Tuhushka Opemiha. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Genealogy Still First Thing. And I believe we are on number 8. So again, I appreciate everybody that has come out to check us out. We're going to keep on trying to, do this as long as we can. Peace to everybody that's here in the building with us. Definitely appreciate everyone showing up. Today I got Low Legacy with me, Kudameo and Wanagi. So here as we go, I'm gonna let the brothers come on and say what's up to everybody. So whenever you want to come on, just unmute yourself and say what's up to the people.
I guess I'll go first. What's good to the tribe? It's Wanagi, aka Ghost. Just glad to
Appreciate that, Wanagi.
Peace, everyone. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Opie.
Cool, appreciate that, Kudameo. And my brother Love Legacy.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Just glad to be here again. Bill with the brothers. And shout out to our sisters. Definitely love y'all, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. So before we begin, I want to say what's up to a few people that's in the chat right now. Peace to Miss Liz Robinson. Appreciate you being here, sis. Empress Isha. Peace and love to you, sis. Thank you for coming in. The original Copper Empress Holbert. What's good, relative? Appreciate you being here. It's my girl. Chickahominy Roots. Peace, family. Appreciate you. Miss Patricia C. Honor. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you. We got Mr. Freeman Lamar. Thank you again for being here. Appreciate you, bro. Mr. Elkton Taylor. Honor. Appreciate you being here. Got my bro, 9 Ether. Honor as always. Got my brother Arthur Gray. Peace, family. Thank you for being here as well. So today we're gonna get into the Brown family history, and we're gonna hit both the Maryland, Delaware side, and then we'll get into the Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina side. And later on, we'll go over some other topics. Again, I found another, family that correlates with an Indian tribe, and I'll get into that later on as well. Before we do, does anybody on the panel got anything they wanted to add before we get into it? All right. So let me get the screen share up and we will get started. All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. So like I said, we're going to start with the Brown family on the Maryland side. So hopefully that's big enough for everybody to see on the screen. So the Brown family and Arundel and Prince George's counties. Okay. So it says Eleanor Brown, born state 1689, the servant of Thomas Ricketts. Oh, yeah, I got to say my disclaimer. Sorry about that. Almost forgot. So with the materials, as always, we're going to understand, overstand. We're going to dodge all hijacks, as Kudameo will say. And of course, eat the meat and spit out the bones. So, you take what you can out of the information dump the rest of it. All right. Okay, so Eleanor Brown, say 1689, a servant of Thomas Ricketts, confessed to the Anne Arundel County Court in November 1709 that she had a child by her master's Negro will. Give me 1 second, y'all. I think Legacy got booted. All right, should be back in. Sorry about that. Her son, born October 1709, was bound to Henry Merriday until the age of 31. So there's that people being bound out thing again. In March 1718 or 19, she confessed to having a child by Negro Sam, belonging to Colonel Mayhaw. The court ordered her to serve her master, Thomas Ricketts, 12 months for the trouble of his house, and bound the child to Henry Merriday until the age of 31. All right, and it says she was the mother of. So first we got John, born about 1713, a 10-year-old mulatto with 21 years to serve when he was valued at 15 pounds in the May 31st, 1723 inventory of the Anne Arundel County estate of Thomas Ricketts, deceased. Now here in parentheses is where you can find the sources on this information. And number 2, we got Margaret, born about 1716. And then we got Philemon, born about 1718, about 4 or 5 years of age, on May 31st, 1723, when he was listed in Thomas Ricketts' estate. Again, here in parentheses, you can see, where you can find this information. So the actual court cases in these deeds and wills. All right, so next we have Margaret Brown, born about 1716, was a 7-year-old mulatto with 24 years to serve when she was valued at 11 pounds in the May 31st, 1723 inventory of Thomas Ricketts. Says she was called Mulatto Margaret at Meredith Davis on November 27, 1739, when she confessed to the Prince George's County Court that she had an illegitimate child. The court ordered that she receive 10 lashes. She was called Margaret Brown, no race indicated, the servant of Meredith Davis on August 28, 1742, when the court ordered that she receive 10 lashes and bound her illegitimate child named John to her master until the age of 21. She had another child named Charity before March 16, 1744-45, says for which she received 10 lashes, and another child before August 23rd, 1748. She was called a mulatto woman peg, and had 18 months to serve when she was listed in the inventory of the Prince George's County estate of Meredith Davis, which was recorded on February 23rd, 1754. She was the mother of. So it says Anne, born, say, 1739. John, born about 1742, perhaps the unnamed mulatto boy who still had 11 years to serve when he was listed in the inventory of the Prince George's County estate of Meredith Davis, which was recorded on February 23rd, 1754. He may have been the John Brown, free mulatto, who bound himself to Reverend Mr. Thomas Bacon in Frederick County. Bacon petitioned the court in March 1765, saying that John had run away twice since binding himself as an apprentice. All right, so that's important information right there. He bound himself. The court ordered that he serve Bacon another year as restitution. He may have been John Brown, who was head of a Montgomery County household of 4 other free in 1790. So just to kind of reiterate on this, Wanagi had shown a indenture contract, and Princess Aisha or Empress Aisha actually read the wording that was in the contract. So I mean, you know, this is what was happening back then. And let's see, Charity, born about 1745. And we got George, head of an Anne Arundel County household of 7 other free in 1790. All right, so next we got Anne Brown, born, say, 1739, confessed to Prince George's County Court on November 27th, 1753, that she had had a 5-week-old mulatto child named Eleanor. The court sold the child to Mary Edelin until the age of 31. She may have been identical to Nanny Brown, who was head of an Anne Arundel County household of 7 other free in 1790, and it says she was the mother of Eleanor, born in October 1753. Okay. All right, so it goes on to say other members of the Brown family on the Western Shore were Henrietta, head of a Charles County household of 8 other free in 1800. Hannah, head of a Baltimore City household of 6 other free in 1800. Thomas, head of a Baltimore City household of 5 other free and a slave in 1790, and 6 other free in 1800. Then we got Joshua, head of a Baltimore City household of 6 other free in 1800. We got Benjamin, head of a Baltimore town household of 7 other free in 1790. We got John, head of an Anne Arundel County household of 5 other free in 1790. We got Mary, head of a Baltimore town household of 3 other free in 1790. We got John, free male, head of a Back River Baltimore County household of 4 other free in 1790. We got Samuel, head of a Frederick County household of 3 other free in 1800. We got Catherine, head of a Frederick County household of 2 other free in 1800. We got Jane, head of a Frederick County household of 2 other free in 1800. We got Mary, born about 1789, obtained a certificate of freedom in Anne Arundel County on August 21st, 1819. Aged about 30 years, dark complexion, freeborn. All right, so next we're going to move on to Kent County. And this is still in Maryland. Elizabeth Brown, born, say, 1690, was a servant of John Carville of Kent County, Maryland, on March 24th, 1707-08, when she admitted in court that she had a child by William Jenkins, one of her master's slaves. The court ordered that she receive 20 lashes and that her child serve her master according to law, and that her master deliver her to the court at the expiration of her term of service. She may have been the ancestor of some of the following members of the Brown family. Okay. We got Marguerite, Negro, head of a Kent County, Maryland household of 6 other free in 1790. We got Darky, Negro, head of a Kent County household of 3 other free in 1790. We got Harry, head of a Kent County household of 5 other free in 1800. We got John, head of a Kent County household of 4 other free in 1800. We got Thomas, head of a Kent County household of 3 other free in 1800. We got Dark, head of a Talbot County household of 7 other free in 1790. We got Nicholas, a mulatto, fined 10 shillings by the Queen Anne's County Court in March 1774. Head of a Queen Anne's County household of 7 other free in 1800. We got Abraham, born, say, 1752, discharged from the service of William Newman by the Queen Anne's County Court in March 1774. We got Anthony, head of a Queen Anne's County household of 5 other free in 1800. We got Thomas, head of a Talbot County household of 4 other free in 1790 and 5 in 1800. We got Benjamin, a free Negro, taxable in Gunpowder Hundred, Hartford County in 1783. Negro, head of a Hartford County household of 4 other free in 1790. We got James, head of a North Milford, Cecil County household of 1 other free in 1790. We got John, head of a Cecil County household of 5 other free in 1800. We got Daniel, head of a Cecil County household of 2 other free in 1800. And last, we got Perry, born about 1790, obtained a certificate of freedom in Talbot County on August 19th, 1815. A bright mulatto man, about 25 years of age, 5 feet 8 inches high, born free and raised in the county. All right, relatives. So that is the Brown family on the Maryland side. And to the panel, if you got anything you'd like to discuss about this, you are free to do so.
Well, one thing that county and probably both of those counties are I know that there are Tutelo and Saponi, basically the same thing. In those counties that are under the Brown family. I just actually found someone, I can't think of the name right off back, but you know who you are. I just found them where they were Browns and Davis, and I believe maybe one more name that was out of Maryland that connected to the tribe. So there are a lot of Browns out there in different areas.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
We can't make every Brown a Saponi, but if you're in that area, then 9 times out of 10, you are connected to the tribe.
No doubt. Kudameo or Wanagi, did you have anything you wanted to add? If not, I'll keep it moving.
Keep it rolling.
All right. Cool. Wanted to say what's up to a few more people that I saw show up in the chat. Sean P., the Aborigine, peace, bro. Appreciate you being here. Miss Sheba, Lolo, Alito, thanks for being here. Let's see, we got, make sure I ain't missing nobody. Copper Color Soldier, peace, bro. Appreciate you being here. Who taught you that? Peace. P. Parker, appreciate you being here, sis. Hyena Chief, what's good? And that looks like that's it for now. So we are going to keep this train rolling. Next, we're going to get into the Brown family on the Virginia and North Carolina side. So this one is going to be long. So I'm just warning y'all ahead of time. I'll probably ask the panel to chime in a few times here. So let's go. William Brown, born, say, 1670, was called William Brown Negro. On April 28, 1715, when he was security for William Brown Mulatto. And on July 31st, 1718, when he admitted in Westmoreland County, Virginia court that he owed Henry Rowe 225 pounds of tobacco. And he was called William Brown Negro, the next of kin to William Brown Mulatto, deceased. On March 30th, 1726, when he testified in Westmoreland County Court that his son, William, died without leaving a will. He was appointed administrator of the estate. The appraisers, William Brown Rowe and Original Rowe, found an old chest, 6 plates, and some old coopers, joiners, and carpenter's tools at William Brown Negro's house. Then it says, as administrator, William sued Richard Morton for a debt of 1,300 pounds of tobacco. On August 28, 1729, the estate of William Brown Sr. was taken by Original Brown on court order of February 24, 1740, and included 3 horses, a feather bed, cows, 11 barrels of corn, shoes, a gun, and candlesticks. Okay. Then it goes on to say he was probably the father of William, born, say, 1690. All right, let's keep it moving. William Brown, born, say, 1690, was called William Brown Mulatto. When he was sued in Westmoreland County Court for a debt of 1,820 pounds of tobacco on April 28, 1715, He died before March 30th, 1726, when William Brown Negro was granted administration on his Westmoreland County estate. He was the father of. So first we got Abraham, born about 1718, a mulatto lad, son of William Brown, mulatto deceased, bound as an apprentice, goldsmith to Allen Horton in Westmoreland County for the term of 5 years on August 27, 1729. He may have been the Abraham Brown Sr., who Abraham Brown Jr. called his uncle in his July 11, 1789 Charles City County will. Abraham Jr. directed that Abraham Sr. should be maintained by his estate. Next, we got William, born about 1719, a 10-year-old mulatto boy, son of William Brown deceased, bound as an apprentice farmer to Sarah Monroe until the age of 21 by the Westmoreland County Court on February 26, 1728-29. Next, we got Elizabeth, born 1722. Next, we got Susanna, born about 1724, an orphan child of William Brown mulatto deceased, a judge, 6 years old, who was bound as an apprentice to John Binks until the age of 18 years by the Westmoreland County Court on February 25th, 1729-30. All right. Next, we got Elizabeth Brown, born, say, 1722, was living in Charles City County in February 1743-44, when the court ordered the church wardens to bind out her sons, John and Abraham, no race indicated, to Jacob Dancy. She was called a mulatto in May 1744, when the court ordered the church wardens of Westover Parish to bind her son, Will Brown, to John Jacob Dancy. She was the mother of. We got John, born, say, 1739. Abraham, born, say, 1741. Edward, born, say, 1742. William, born, say, 1743. Son of Elizabeth, bound out in May of 1744. We got Dixon Sr., born, say, 1745. You guys got anything you wanted to add before I continue on? Panel?
I see that Empress Holbert, she said were any of them in Tennessee. I think you would have to push that line back probably to about 1800 if you haven't.
Right.
To see if they came out of Virginia, North Carolina, etc.
Right.
So a lot of people that stuck 1850, 1830, stuff like that in other places. Sometimes your people, traveled there and they may have left in around 1800 or whatever it was. So, or usually after the removal. So I would say probably like 1815 stuff started getting hot. So yeah, so you have to look into that. I'm not saying brown could be from anywhere. I mean, brown is a color. So, and who knows, it probably means something else. So I would look into that, but more than likely they probably came from the east.
Right. And I just wanted to say too, Empress Holbert, on the family histories, what they normally do with these is they try to show you the earliest time that family showed up in like records and court cases and different things like that. So as time goes on with these, it's more than likely going to show you their origination point. And like Legacy was saying, we know that our people traveled around quite a bit. So we'll see, that some of us were, in Maryland and Delaware, and ended up, down into Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, then ended up back in, Tennessee, Ohio, Pennsylvania. So, we moved around. So, that's, this is just like a starting point for the Brown family. But, they probably were in Tennessee at some point. Anybody else want to add anything?
Quick question. Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir. Yep.
When you're reading, they say they were giving the women lashings for having children. Am I correct?
Yeah.
But I thought Maryland was a breeding state.
Right.
So why would you give the so-called slaves, which were free people of color, lashings for having more babies? I'm just not understanding that.
I feel you, bro. I know it don't make no sense to me either.
It was fun.
I guess it was.
Right.
Maryland was supposed to be one of the biggest places
Yeah.
for breeding locations.
Mhm.
So why are you whooping the slaves for having your profit? Which is crazy to me, but
right.
let's
And
get
then
it. You own it.
and then the other crazy part is that if you did have a kid, you only had to, you know, work your contract just a few more months more, and then you was done. So, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna keep it moving. So, also, High and the Chief, I'm not doing this in any particular order. I had a request for the Brown family, so that's why we're on the Brown family today. So next we got Freeman, born say 1748, paid £2 by the Charles City County estate of John Gregory Jr. for looking after a slave named Savory and her children during the year 1778. He was taxable in Charles City County from 1784 to 1807, taxable on 40 acres in 1782, and head of a household of 5 other free in 1810. He was issued pay for service in the Revolution in Charles City County. It says Brown. Well, I'm gonna read this. Brown Freeman, citing auditors, and then it tells you all about, you know, his Revolution information. Then it says on December 3rd, 1811, he sold 1 acre on the crossroad leading from the Courthouse Road to Swine's Yard Road for $1 to Ishmael Carter to have and to hold, provided he leaves lawful issue. He sold 40 acres in Charles City County, bonded by George Hubbard, Nancy Smith, and Bowling Gills to Terrell Crew on January 20th, 1831. Then it says Benjamin, born, say, 1755. Then we got Isaac, born about 1762. All right. And next we got Abraham Brown, born, say, 1741, purchased 156 acres in Westover Parish, Charles City County from William Tyree and John Wales on September 27, 1769 for 96 pounds currency. And he purchased 2 slaves named Sarah and Phyllis for 60 pounds on December 8, 1770. He was taxable in Charles City County on slaves Sylvie and Isaac, 5 horses and 15 cattle in 1784, and taxable on slaves Sylvie, Isaac, and Jane in 1785. He was paid 12 pounds, 15 shillings by the Charles City County estate of Samuel Hardwood on June 15, 1778, and 13 pounds, 11 shillings by the estate of William Mary, deceased, in 1784. He called himself Abraham Brown Jr. in his July 11, 1789 will, which was proved June 17, 1790. He left his wife, Sarah Brown, 25 pounds specie, son John Brown, 118 acres. He had purchased from Samuel Riddlehurst, left daughter Mary Brown, a slave named Janny, left sons Abraham and William all his remaining land, which he had purchased from William Tyree to be divided between them when they became of age. Left daughter Elizabeth Brown, a slave named Sal, and divided the remainder of his estate equally among his wife Sarah and children John, Mary, Abraham, William, and Elizabeth Brown. Ordered that his uncle, Abraham Brown Sr., should be maintained out of his estate and allowed Elizabeth Selden to use the house and garden on his land during her lifetime. All right. It says his wife Sarah left a June 1st, 1790 Charles City County will, which proved December 15th, 1791. She left a slave named Sylvie and a horse to her son Abraham, left a slave girl named Mary to her son William, left a feather bed to her youngest daughter Elizabeth, and divided the remainder among her surviving children. It says Elizabeth Selden, Benjamin Brown, and Frances Harris were witnesses. And then it says Abraham was the father of. So we got John, born, say, 1764. We got Mary, daughter of Abraham Brown, deceased, married Abraham Thomas, alias Cumbo, by marriage agreement of April 13, 1791, proved in Charles City County Court on December 15, 1791, by which he recognized her right to slaves Isaac and Jane, 2 feather beds, and some stock of cattle and hogs, which were in her possession. Then it says administration on her estate was granted to Abraham Brown on March 17, 1836, with Morris Harris proving $90 security. All right, next we got Abraham, born, say, 1769. Then we got William, born, say, 1772, taxable in Charles City County in 1793, and taxable on 2 tracts of land in 1790 and 1800. One of 92.5 acres and the other of 30 acres. And then it says on July 17th, 1800, he signed or swapped 125.5 acres with 115.5 acres, which his brother Abraham Brown received by will of their father. That same day, he sold 20 acres in Westover Parish on the dividing line between his land and John Brown's to Abraham Thomas, alias Cumbo. He and his wife Lucy, both signing, sold 41.5 acres. He received by his father's will to Abraham Thomas for 65 pounds on February 20th, 1806. He was head of a household of 8 other free in 1810. He was called William Brown Sr., a man of color, on August 1st, 1817, when he made a deed of trust for 80 acres to secure a debt of $38 he owed William F. Walker. He and his wife Lucy, both signing, sold 20 acres, bounded by his own land, the land of John Brown, and the land of George Jones, to George Jones for $150 on May 8th, 1821. He may have been the William Brown Sr. who made a deed of trust for a horse on October 20th, 1830. He was head of a head of Charles City County household of 13, free colored in 1820. All right, panel, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I don't know about that particular Cumbo.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Cumbo name to be connected to some Virginia tribes, but also Lumbee. And then being that those Browns are in Charles City, they might be connected to the Chickahominy.
Mm.
I'm not sure who else was in that area. It may be another tribe that was in that area. But but if you have those Browns, especially around that area, Charles City, they may be connected to Chickahominy. There's also another tribe too. Also, I want to add that Tasha I believe that she said some of the Browns were connected to the Powhatan Confederacy. I'm not sure exactly what tribe, but I'm pretty sure she said that. If she didn't, then I apologize. But yeah, they Indians.
Okay, cool. I want to say what's up to a few more people in the chat here. We got some more people that came in. Let me go back here a little bit. And if I miss your name, please forgive me. I'm not purposely doing it. David Corey, peace family. Appreciate you being in here. Chief Williamina, honor. Thank you, sis, for being here. Appreciate it. Let me see if there's anybody else I'm missing. North Kingdom Prophets, Shalom. Appreciate you being here. War Chief Red Lion, it's an honor, brother. Thank you for being here as well. Appreciate you. Let's see, Sheba Lolo. If I didn't say your name earlier, appreciate you, sis. Thank you. Rodimus Prince, appreciate you, bro, for being in here. Appreciate you. Nathaniel Turner, peace. Appreciate you being in here. Let's see if there's anybody else I'm missing. Oh, Tim Buck, son of Papoose, peace and honor. Appreciate you being in here, bro. And let's see, Vicky Simmons, appreciate you, sis. Thank you for being here again. And my brother Mizak, and Petawa State relative. Appreciate you being in here. All right, y'all, we're gonna keep it rolling.
Give me one second.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I saw Empress Isha say something about her Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot exactly what she said they were, but then she said that they moved to Mississippi. I would check into that, maybe try to push that line if you can. But they may very well be Catawba, just from what you just said. Catawbas did go to Mississippi. I actually had referenced a book before, Catawba Valley Mississippian, by David G. Moore. It goes into the history and stuff like that. But they very well may be Catawba, and also like I spoke earlier on your channel about the Choctaw, because I believe she had some family that was connected to Choctaw, but they were Carters. So I also told her that some Catawbas were enslaved by Choctaw, and then also some had joined the Choctaw. But then if you were a Negro, of course, you would transfer from being a full member to the freedman side. So either one of those things may have transpired. But also you have other things on your tree too. So like I told you before, you could always at any time fill out an application for the tribe, because I mean you just got too many connections.
Right, absolutely.
And make sure y'all bang that like button. Bang the like button, please.
Definitely.
And eat organic fruit. Eat organic fruit, man. It tastes so good.
Absolutely. Also, I wanted to say what's up to and honors to Copper Hot Step. I appreciate you, brother. Much honors. And my brother Stephen Red Clay. Much honors to you as well, my brother. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, follow Red Clay. Got good videos.
Absolutely. All right. So our next person was going to be Elizabeth Brown, born before 1776, head of a Charles City County household of 5 other free in 1810 and 6 free colored in 1820. Says she may have been the mother of Sally Brown, who registered in Charles City County on October 20th, 1836, daughter of Betsy Brown, the midwife, brown complexioned, 27, the December 9th last. Okay. Excuse me. Next, we got Edward Brown, born, say, 1742, was taxable in Charles City County from 1784 to 1794, and taxable on 200 acres from 1782 to 1793. He may have been the Edward Brown who was drafted out of the Charles City County, but had not yet reported for duty in Williamsburg on November 28, 1777, when Lieutenant John Dudley placed an ad in the Virginia Gazette warning him and John Major Jr. that they had until December 10th to report. He was the father of. Okay, so we got Edward, born, say, 1763, called Edward Jr., when he was taxable in the household of Edward Brown in 1784, and called son of Ned in 1809, when he was taxable on 2 tithes. He may have been the Edward Brown whose wife Rebecca was named in the November 12, 1803, Charles City County will of Francis Harris. He was head of a Charles City County household of 8 other free in 1810. He was issued pay for service in the Revolution in Charles City County. And then let's see, in parentheses, it shows, where you can see his Revolution information. Next, we got William, born, say, 1765, taxable in Charles City County in 1787, called son of Ned, when he was taxable in 1804 and 1806. Next, we got Freeman, born, say, 1767, taxable on a horse in 1787, and taxable on his own tithe and on a horse in 1788, called Son of Ned, when he was taxable in 1806. Next, we got James, born, say, 1771, taxable in Charles City County, called James Brown Jr., from 1792 to 1799. And then next, we got John, born, say, 1789, called Son of Ned, when he was taxable in 1810. All right. So next we have Dixon Brown Sr., born, say, 1745, was taxable in Charles City County on his own tithe. His son Edward Brown, 2 horses and 11 cattle in 1784, and witness to the July 29, 1784, Charles City County will of James Harris. He purchased 50 acres on a road leading from Sun's Bridge to the Charles City Courthouse, joining his own land for 50 pounds on September 11, 1790, and another 72 acres in the same area for 90 pounds on February 2nd, 1797. He purchased 70 acres at the mouth of Leonard's Mill Run, adjoining Isabella Leonard and Sons Line, on December 19, 1796, for 77 pounds. And he and his wife, Suzanna, making their marks, sold this land on February 2nd, 1797, for 80 pounds. His wife, Suzanna, was named in the November 12th, 1803 Charles City County will of her mother, Frances Harris. He was taxable on 220 acres near the Cherokee School from 1797 to 1821, and head of a household of 4 other free in 1810. He made a January 24th, 1811 Charles City County will, proved January 18th, 1821. He left 40 acres to be divided between his son Dickson Brown and daughter Suzanna Harris, wife of Chavis Harris, which was the land they were then living on. Left his house and 75 acres to be divided among his daughter Catherine Brown, son James Brown, and son Peter Brown. Left 30 acres to his illegitimate children, Polly Harris, Suzanna Harris, wife of James Harris, and Peggy Bowman, which was the land they were then living on. Left 10 acres each to his daughters Elizabeth and Millie Brown. Left 10 acres to his son Edward Brown's children, Polly, Lucy, and Rachel Brown. Left 10 acres to be divided between his daughter Sally Brown's children, Betsy Harris, Cornelius Brown, Polly Brown, Sabrina Brown, Lucy Brown, Reuben Brown, and Elizabeth Brown. 10 acres to be divided among his daughter Lucy Brown's children, Dancy, Losie, Henry, Edward, and Eliza Brown. A bed and furniture to his daughter Catherine, and appointed his son Dickson Brown and Henry C. Harris his executors. James Harris, Peter Brown, Edward Bowman, James Brown Jr., Billy Brown, Millie Brown, and Dickson Brown posted 500 pounds security for Henry C. Harris's administration of the estate. He was the father of. All right, before I get into the children, did the panel have anything they wanted to add?
On what we was said earlier, Holbert, your Browns are Saponi, but of course you're Saponi, so
Yeah.
I mean, really no difference, right? But yeah, her Browns are Saponi without a doubt. Also, since we were talking about the Charles City or whatever, and I said some of the people were Chickahominy, I didn't find Brown as a name, but I did find other names, and I just wanted to run through the list real quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Atkins, Bradby, which you've done a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Canada, Cotman, Stewart, which also Stewart is also with the Pamunkey, but I think they're pretty much like the same people or something. They have something to do with one another. I'm not a historian, so forgive me. Then you have Holmes, Jefferson, Jones, Miles, Sweat, Thompson, and when. There has been some intermarriage. Oh yeah, and it says with the Pamunkey there has been some intermarriage.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was right.
Absolutely. Okay. Was that all you had? You want me to keep going?
I mean, if you want more, I could.
Yeah. Keep going, man.
All right. I also have a list. One thing, check out this guy, James Mooney. Any books by him? You guys want any type of history or want to know some of these family names and stuff like that? You could check him out. I have a book actually coming now. By him. Let's see. It says the Nansman and the Nansemond in Norfolk County, Virginia, and completed a tribal census that counted 61 households. Some surnames include in the tribe at the time were Bass, Bateman, Bond, Brady, Bright, Cable, Collins, Creggins, Gaylord, Gray, Green, Harmon, Holloway, Howard, Jones, OK, Osborne, Porter, Price, Rowland, Sawyer, Scott, Sebastian, Simcoe, Simcoe, Weaver, White, Wilkins, and Williams. All right. Now I'm done.
All right.
And that was the Nansemond tribe.
Yep, that's the Nansemond. So y'all just heard those names he listed off. Definitely, look into that. I did I also put a post on Instagram about that not too long ago as well. So, if those names are popping up, you still need to do your genealogy to find how you connect to to those people. But, if you got them names, definitely look into it, man. Because I think, I don't know if Legacy knows this or not. How easy or hard is it to get into the Nansemond? Have you done any research?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think they may be a little bit more open.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think the key thing to do is push your tree back as far as possible. So if you can get past 1800, I think that would be more convincing. If you can find an ancestor that's not listed as black, but they are aware of the racial garbage that's been going on with the Indians and stuff like that, because they've been victims too. But I think they're a little bit more open with that. But depending on your name, you can be in several different tribes. I mean, each generation is going to be more people added on.
Exactly.
And also you have tribes intermarrying and confederacies and different stuff like that. So like me on one of my lines, I told people 1,000 times, started off as Tuscarora. But when I went to Tuscarora and I told them my surname, they said, "Oh no, you got to go over to the Saponis." And I thought they were just like trying to get rid of me because I'm a so-called Negro, but that wasn't it. It was that you're no longer part of us.
Exactly. Good points. So, I mean, in all of the people that I'm seeing in the chat too, saying that, you have the Harris last name or you got the Harrison surname, any of that in your family, I mean, that's big time. So if your goal is to, get to become a tribal member of a tribe, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and feed you a bunch of baloney that all these tribes are going to let you in, because we know the games that, gets played. But, that Harris last name is it's big time. So,
and let me say too that just from my experience, and I think from my brother's experience too, everybody on this panel is part of a tribe. Maybe they can say something to it, but being in a tribe changes a lot of things. It changes your life. You start to see things a little bit different. But of course, you have to volunteer to feel that change. You know what I mean? You have to really be involved. It's not just, oh, I'm just going to be part of a tribe. I'm going to get a card. and that's going to be it. You start asking questions, learning history, different things like that, and you start to have more pride about yourself, start to carry yourself a little bit better, and different things like that. So I encourage people, man, you know, not to get caught up in, oh, I'm not going to be part of the tribe because of this, because of that, and all of these different things, and religion, and blah, 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 blah. We created everything, man. So, I mean, to not want to be part of a tribe because the chief is a Christian or something like that is just ridiculous. We started everything. We were the first to do everything. So regardless of how you look at it, whether you talking about a feather, a cross, or a fez, we were the first. So anybody could challenge that if they want to.
Good points. Good points. And then I see I'm gonna ask Wanagi a question if he's able to come on real quick for a second.
What's good, big bro?
Hey, so what information Hyena Chief is asking about the Hardy surname? Like what kind of information have you found about those particular Indians?
Mainly it's a band of the Sioux. I'm a Hardy. Okanichi, or however you want to pronounce it. I know I say it wrong a lot, but it's definitely
right.
of a original surname of that band. So if you're a Hardy, Richardson is a big one that's coalesced with. So it's like if you have that surname, you are tribe, you are family, you're my distant cousin, so to say, which we all family on this panel. Okanichi,
Oh, yeah.
Big facts. Original Okanichi surname.
Oh yeah, the original. So y'all heard it. So anybody wondering about that? I wanted to say what's up to my brother Anubri. Definitely honors. Appreciate you being here as well, bro. Let me see if there's anybody else I missed. Thought I just saw somebody. Oh, Von Indigenous. Appreciate you being here as well, family. Thank you for showing up. All right, y'all. I'm gonna keep it moving with the names here, with the Brown family. All right, so we got Edward, born say 1763, taxable in Charles City County household of Dixon Brown in 1783, called son of Dixon in 1790 and 1793. He was probably deceased by January 24th, 1811, when his children Polly, Lucy, and Rachel were left 10 acres by the will of their grandfather, Dixon Brown. All right, then we got Dixon Jr., born say 1766. We got Sally, born say 1768. We got James, born say 1770, taxable in Charles City County in 1791, called James Brown Sr., when he was taxable from 1792 to 1799. A mulatto, taxable on 2 ties and 3 horses in 1812. He was head of a Charles City County household of 5 other free in 1810 and 4 free colored in 1820. Next, we got Lucy, mother of Dancy, Locy, Henry, Edward, and Eliza Brown. Dancy was living in Albemarle County on December 31st, 1821, when he sold his part of Dickson Brown estate to Lockie Going, wife of David, for $10. So I just want to say something real quick. So all these different names, surnames that are showing up, you guys are starting to see the correlation of how we were around each other. And that's why I keep saying relatives all the time, because as we start to go back and see all these names and these surnames, all these people interacted with each other, married each other, did business with each other. I mean, all kinds of things. Did you guys want to chime in on that, or you want me to keep going? All right, I'll keep it moving. Next, we got Catherine, married to Edward Bowman by June 13th, 1825. when she was paid $20 as her legacy of a bed and furniture. Next, we got Elizabeth, born, say, 1785. Next, we got Millie, born, say, 1788, head of a Charles City County household, a further free in 1810. She made a September 14th, 1827 Charles City County will, proved July 17th, 1834, leaving 10 acres. She was living on to her brother Dickson during his lifetime, and then to be divided between her niece Patsy Harris and Cyrus Brown. So we're starting to see the connection between the Harris family and the Brown family. All right, next we got Peter, born about 1797. And then it says, and he was the father of illegitimate children, which he recognized. So now we're going to get into the Harris side of his other kids. So we got Polly Harris. We got Suzanna Harris, illegitimate daughter of Dixon Brown and wife of James Harris. Received 10 acres of land by the January 24th, 1811 Charles City County will of her father. She died intestate without a living child before October 1826, when Polly Harris, Morris Harris, and Patsy, his wife, Peg Bowman, James Brown Jr., son of Dixon, and his wife Sally, and Peter Brown, and his wife Susanna appointed James Brown to sell the land. Edward Brown was the highest bidder at $32. Hey, Legacy, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you talk for a little bit? I need to jump off for just a quick second, and I'll be right back.
Got you. One thing I wanted to get into were some of the I printed out some of the federally recognized tribes for just for your information. So I printed out some of these, so I'll go through a few names while he goes to do that. So you have the Aroostook band of Micmacs, okay, and they're located in Maine. Then you have Catawba Indian Nation, which is in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Let me see what else. You got the Cayuga Nation in Union Springs, New York. You have the Cherokee Agency, which is in Cherokee, North Carolina. So you guys could go holler at them if you want to get rejected. Oh, you Cherokees. You have Chickahominy Indian Tribe. They don't give an address, but they have a Gmail, Chickahominy Indian Tribe at gmail.com. You have another Chickahominy tribe in Providence Forge, Virginia. And all of this stuff you can get online. You have the Chitimacha tribe of Louisiana. All right, and they're in Charenton, Louisiana. Charenton, Louisiana. You have the Choctaw. You have a Choctaw agency in Philadelphia, Mississippi. And all of this you could get from the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Okay. Then you have the Coushatta tribe of Louisiana. And I think, don't beat me up if I'm wrong, but I think they might be connected to some form of creeks in some way, I believe. If I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. You have Eastern Band of Cherokee. They're in Cherokee, North Carolina. Okay. Yep. Then you have Holton Band of Maliseet Indians, and they're in Littleton, Maine. The Gina Band of Choctaw Indians in Trout, Louisiana. The Mashantucket Pequot Indian Tribe. All right, I love them. And they're in Mashantucket, Connecticut. Then you have the Mashpee Wampanoag Tribe in Mashpee, Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. You have the Miccosukee Tribe of Indians in Miami, Florida. Then you have the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians in Choctaw, Mississippi. The Mohegan Tribe of Indians of Connecticut. That's self-explanatory. The Monacan Indian Nation, Amherst, Virginia, and we're connected to them. You have the Nasbin Indian Tribe, Suffolk, Virginia. You have the Narragansett Indian Tribe, Charlestown, Rhode Island. And I could go on and on and on. I mean, it would take a few more minutes to go through all of that. But I wanted to just say that because people, it seems like people stay stuck on like 1, 2 tribes. And I mean, there's the thousands of tribes. And even at the end, I want to name off some tribes that are on the Indian census. Because a lot of people go for like 1 or 2, 3 tribes, and that's it. But there are thousands of tribes.
Yeah, that's correct. Hey, Legacy, can you hear me?
Yep, loud
Okay.
and clear.
I'm gonna put your email in the chat for people.
Okay. Yeah, lovelegacy200@gmail. And actually, I'm gonna start another challenge in April. I'm gonna finish up the people that I have now for March, but I'm starting one in April. So far, I'm only taking 10 people. I want to see how I can do with the rest of the people that I have left over from the last challenge. And this next challenge is going to be 300 apiece per person. But right now, I'm only taking 10 out of respect for the people that I still do have left over. But mind you, I'm doing pretty good. I think I got about 16 people out and probably around 12, 13 left. So, even if you take 30 people, I'm just being honest, if you take 30 people and you find 15 people's tribes, that's an accomplishment. None of us know where we from. So, even that, there's no way that I can guarantee that I can find everyone's tribe, and I'm not going to pretend that I can. But what I will do is continue to work with you. Also, if people want to have me continuously work with them as far as their tree and stuff like that, I charge $500. You're good from there on. People who have already paid that and I found your tribe, I will get back to you and we can go and continue to build on your tree. But for now, I have to knock out the people that I already have who don't know where they're from at all and try to knock those out. Also, if you go to my channel, Love Legacy 500, you'll see that I listed some tribe that I found, and you'll find that I found probably half of the tribe people. I found Saponi. There's a reason for that. Why would I make it difficult on myself? Why would I go over to a side of the tree that's giving me problems when I could trace this person right here back to Virginia and see clearly that they're part of our tribe, or North Carolina and see clearly they're part of our tribe? Why would I kill myself like that? So if you are part of my tribe or our tribe, I would say Saponi-Catawba, then of course that I would if I can find that you're connected to the tribe, why not put you in the tribe instead of trying to find something else? But like I said, I will continue to work with the people who do pay the 500. But keep in mind that that's really nothing compared to the amount that you have to pay for genealogy, and also the amount of hours that I have to put in, or the amount of hours that I've already put in, right? You don't necessarily pay an electrician because of the work he does. You pay him for the knowledge that he has also. So let's keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that I'm one person. So give me a chance to get to you. Give me a chance to get the work done. It takes time. I'm not working every single day. Sometimes I take breaks. I might take a whole week and just relax. But I may also wake up 4 a.m. and find your tribe. It happens like that. I wake up 4 a.m. I'm like, let me hop on Ancestry, and boom, I find somebody's tribe like this. I have to clear my mind. It's a lot to take in for one person. So,
no doubt. So I wanted to say what's up to a few people in the chat. Yeshua Hebrews, peace, brother. Appreciate you being here. EJ Coppertone, peace. Appreciate you being here. And let me see if there's anybody else I missed. Will Perry, peace. Appreciate you being here. And we gonna keep it going. Oh, Malcolm Muhammad Moody, peace. Appreciate you being here. All right, so we're gonna keep it moving. Okay, so our last person on that family was Peggy Bowman. All right, so next we're gonna do Benjamin Brown. born, say, 1755, was in a list of deserters advertised in the November 28th, 1777 issue of the Virginia Gazette by Lieutenant John Dudley as one of the drafts from Charles City County who were lurking about the country. A reward was offered for their delivery to the commanding officer in Williamsburg. It says he was taxable on his own tithe and a horse in Waynoke precinct of Charles City County from 1784 to 1814, listed as a mulatto in 1813 and 1814. He was paid 10 shillings for shoes he provided Elizabeth Christian in 1782. He was witness to the June 1st, 1791 Charles City County will of Sarah Brown and head of a household of 3 other free in 1810. He was the father of. We got William, born, say, 1784, called Son of Ben, when he was taxable in 1805 and 1807. Next, we got Isaac Brown, born about 1762, was born in Charles City County and enlisted there in the Revolution for 1.5 years on September 12, 1780. Complexion black, 5'2.5", a farmer. All right. And again, this link, this whereraps.org link, this again will take you to the description of how the soldiers looked in the Revolution. And it says he was taxable in Lower Westover precinct of Charles City County in 1786 and head of a Charles City County household of 10 other free in 1810 and 4 free colored in 1820. He purchased 75 acres in Charles City County from Peter Ladd for $200. And then on February 15th, 1804, it says he applied for a pension in Charles City County at the age of 69, and on May 19th, 1829, when he was living on his 70 acres of land with his unnamed wife, 20-year-old son, 21-year-old daughter, and her 4-year-old child. He stated that he enlisted in Charles City County in 1780 and served 18 months. He made a deed of trust for 75 acres of land adjoining Peter Ladd in the cellar run, as well as all his personal estate, for the benefit of Peter Ladd Jr. On January 22nd, 1829, he made an April 10th, 1830 Charles City County will, which was proved August 19th, 1830. He left 1/3 of his estate to his wife Sarah to be divided among his children at her decease, left the remaining 2/3 to son Micaiah and daughter Sally Ann Brown. Noted that his sons Carver and Travis were able to get their own living since they were able-bodied, unlike their brother Micaiah, and noted that his daughter Maria and Clarissa were married and had already been provided for. He was the father of. Give me 1 second, family. Get legacy back in here. All right. He was the father of Maria, Clarissa, Carver, born about 1791, Travis, born about 1796, taxable in Charles City County in 1814, a 54-year-old mulatto laborer in the household of Peter Wallace for the 1850 Charles City County census. Then we got Sally Ann, born about 1807, 21 years old, on January 29th, 1829. Then we got Micaiah, born about 1809, 20 years old, on January 29th, 1829. His sister Sally Ann sold land to him by deed, proved in Charles City County on December 19th, 1833. And he sold 7 acres by deed, proved on April 16th, 1835. All right. Next, we got John Brown, born about 1764, was taxable in the Charles City County household of his father, Abraham Brown, in 1785, taxable on 118 acres in 1790 and 1800, and head of a household of 5 other free in 1810. He was father of Rebecca Brown, granddaughter of Frances Harris, who left her a spinning wheel by her November 12, 1803 Charles City County will. Then it says on October 6, 1804, he made a deed of trust to Wyatt Walker for 118 acres which he received by the will of his father Abraham Brown, to secure a bond which Dixon Brown had posted for him to satisfy an execution against his estate by Thomas Blanks. He was a man of color who made a deed of trust on May 28, 1817, for 80 acres, which was all the land he was then living on, which descended to him by will of his father Abraham. He and his wife Priscilla, both signing, sold 16 acres adjoining his land and Abraham Brown's to George Jones for $96. On May 8, 1821, the account of his Charles City County estate was taken by Abraham Brown and had its first entry on November 1st, 1825. Abraham distributed about $11 to James Brown Sr. and Carver Brown, who was also paid $1.62 for accommodations furnished the appraisers of the estate. And then it goes on to say John was the father of. So first we got James, born, say, 1785, taxable in Charles City County in 1806, called son of John in 1810. Then we got Rebecca, granddaughter of Francis Harris, who left her a spinning wheel in 1804. Panel, did you have anything you wanted to add, or you want me to keep it moving?
Keep going.
All right. Next, we got Abraham Brown, born, say, 1769, son of Abraham, was taxable in Charles City County in 1790. A mulatto, taxable in 1813. Taxable on 2 tracts of land, one of 92 and a half acres and the other of 30 acres in 1790 and 1800. Head of a Charles City County household of 10 other free and 3 slaves in 1810 and 9 free colored in 1820. He was a man of color from Charles City County who served in the Revolution. It says on July 17th, 1800, he and his wife Suzanna, both signing, swapped the 115 and a half acres he received by his father's will with 125 and a half acres, which his brother William received by the will. He and his wife Susanna made a deed of gift to Cornelius Brown, John Brown, Henry C. Harris, and Dickson Brown Jr. as trustees for a tract of land adjoining John Brown, upon which a meeting house known as Elam was to be set apart expressly for the use of the Baptist Church on November 20th, 1818. And then it says, but when unoccupied by the Baptists, to be free for any minister of the gospel to preach us. Says he was granted administration on the Charles City County estate of his brother John Brown Sr. on October 20th, 1825. He left a April 12, 1836 Charles City County will signing, proved November 19th, 1840. He left his son Christopher the house where Christopher then lived and 20 acres of land on the north side of his plantation. Left the remainder of his land to his 3 sons, Allen, Abraham, James, and Samuel Brown, and left the remainder of his estate to his children, Allen Brown, Abraham, James Brown, Christopher Brown, Samuel Brown, Patsy Thompson, Polly Brown, Suzanna Brown, and his grandson, Robert Brown, son of his daughter, Nancy Jones. Then it says he died in Charles City in August 1840. His children were. So first we got Allen, then we got Abraham James, called James A. Brown, in the settlement of his father's estate. Christopher, born about 1805, a mulatto, head of Charles City County household in 1850, with $100 real estate, and children Edmund C., Major, Margaret, Samuel, Jones, Emily, Susan, and Shadrick Brown. Then we got Samuel. Then we got Patsy Thompson, Polly, Susanna, Nancy Jones, mother of Robert Jones. All right. Panel, did you have anything? You want me to keep it moving?
Yeah, I just want to say there's a difference between genealogy. You don't have for you. Some people don't understand what it means. Can you explain what genealogy really means? A little bit of Opie.
Yeah, sure can. So the purpose of doing genealogy is so you can find your exact family members, and it normally will trace you back to lands that they originally come from. So that's the good part about genealogy. With a DNA test, like everyone keeps saying, it just, is taking you back to people who have similar DNA than as you, I guess. So, I mean, to me, that's what, doing a genealogy will actually get you back to.
Yeah, with the DNA test, all you can do is just match with someone, and
Right.
it's someone that's living. So
Exactly.
if I take a DNA test, let's say me and Opie are distant cousins, right? If I took a DNA test, it would state that he's a distant cousin. That's it. But if I take a DNA test with my, say, grandmother, she would be the closest to me with the test, right? So like when people go on ancestry.com and they do a DNA test, all you're doing is just matching people and to what degree. That's all it does. Other than that, it's a sham. All right, because it said that I'm 70% African. Then it said that I was 2% South American. Now we switched from South American, and now I'm 1% Puerto Rican. So the more you change your tree, the more they change who you are, and
Exactly.
that's basically it. That's basically it.
The,
Because I went from 2% South American, and now I got all this Puerto Rico on there, and now it's a bunch of Puerto Rico. So now what happened to the South American people? Now I'm
Right.
no longer South American. So stay away from that stuff, man. Only way I would even encourage anybody to do something like that is if they were trying to find if they were adopted and they're trying to find people that may take the test that they're related to, and they're trying to find their family. Other than that, I wouldn't do it. If you've never, and especially if you're a person that even plans to get in trouble at all, you don't want to put your DNA out there, because right now they're fighting a battle with the federal government. Federal government trying to get all the DNA so they could solve crimes and stuff like that. I'm not worried because they already got my DNA. They've been had my DNA. So I'm not worried about it. I went and took the test, but it didn't really help me out at all. So yeah, that's about it. It says that basically 0%. You might as well say, what's 1% Puerto Rican, man? I mean, come on, that's 0%. That's 0% Native American. There are no Indians. There's only like one person listed as an Indian on my whole tree, and they're not even connected to the tribe that I'm in. So how did I get in the tribe? When you go look at it, I'm related to the tribe in many ways through a bunch of different lines. So yeah, stay away
Right.
from that stuff. Stop getting confused. I don't even really think people are really confused a lot of times too. I think that people just want it to be what they want it to be. That's why we have 4 million Cherokees. You know what I'm saying? Because people just want to be what they want it to be, and that's it. I've told people that they were Saponi-Catawba, or whatever other tribe is connected to us, basically us, and they still want to be a Cherokee. So I mean, there's nothing really we could do. But understand that a lot of people
yeah,
have mental illnesses.
yeah. I just want to add, the DNA thing, it could lead to showing relation, but remember, it's 0.1% accurate. It's not even 1% accurate. It's less than one. It's less than zero. So if you want to base if you want to base it on that, go ahead. But we're genealogy is real records that actually exist. They numerated, all these things, and you just got to dig into it, and then you might be able to find something.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
and
right.
you could go check out Cormel. He did a whole video on the DNA testing. So go and check that out. Also got a whole video, breaks everything down.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. I'm gonna keep it moving. So next we got Dixon Brown, born say 1766. was head of a Charles City County household of 5 other free in 1810 and 2 free colored in 1820. He died before February 21st, 1833, when his son James Brown was granted administration on his estate. His widow Lucy Brown sold the land she was allotted from the estate to James Brown by deed, acknowledged on July 19th, 1836. He was the father of. 1 second, y'all. Think Wanagi trying to get back in. There he is. All right. He was a father of Dixon, born, say, 1792. We got James, born July 2nd, 1794, registered as a free Negro in Charles City County about 1810, and renewed his registration in 1842 and 1859. Son of old Dixon Brown, brown complexion, 48, the 2nd July, 1842. It says he married Sally Stewart, colored, March 11th, 1816, Charles City County bond. He was head of a Charles City County household of four free colored in 1820. He, son of Dixon, William T. Brown, and Will Brown, Ware, called people of color on February 21st, 1828, when the Charles City County Court allowed them to keep a gun. And it says he, James Brown Jr., and Edward Bowman were attorneys for Elizabeth Brown's sale of 10 acres of land she received by the will of her father, Dickson Brown. She was living in Liberia. She was living in Liberia on December 18th, 1828, when they paid $20 to her son, Richard B. Brown, who was living in Petersburg. James purchased the land on the same day from the buyer for $20. He sold 7 acres adjoining his land and land of Peter Brown to Peter Brown on May 15th, 1828. He was called son of Dickson Brown on July 17th, 1834, when he was granted administration on the estate of Millie Brown with Reuben Brown Jr. as his security. He and others brought a suit in chancery against Edward Bowman's children on February 19th, 1835. Then it says on April 16th, 1835, he was granted administration on the estate of Thomas Harris with Abraham Brown and Edward Bowman as securities. He was a 55-year-old mulatto, wheelwright, with $500 real estate, counted in the 1850 Charles City County census with his wife Sarah and their children. All right. Next, we got Sally Brown, born, say, 1768, was head of a Charles City County household of 5 free colored in 1820. She was named in a January 24th, 1811 Charles City County will of her father, Dickson Brown, which was proved January 18th, 1821. According to the will, she was the mother of. So we got Reuben, born, say, 1785, taxable in Charles City County in 1806. He was registered in a Charles City County, no date, dark brown, dead, and then it says register free Negroes 1835 to 64, number 71. He made a February 11th, 1839 Charles City County will, proved on March 21st, 1839, leaving a walnut table to his sister Lucy's daughter, Ariana Brown, and dividing the remainder of his estate between his kinsman, Mitchell Harris, and a friend, Barnett Harris, who he named executors. Ned Bowman was paid for digging the grave, and Jesse Brown was paid $4 for making the coffin. All right. Next, we got Cornelius Brown, born, say, 1787, taxable in Charles City County in 1809, head of a household of 1 other free in 1810. He purchased 50 acres in a Charles City County for $200 on March 20th, 1819. And he and his wife, Polly Brown, both making their mark, sold 3.5 acres in Charles City County known as Ben's, bounded by Henry Adams and Chavis Harris. All right. And it says devised to Cornelius by Dixon Brown to Chavis Harris for $11 on January 4th, 1825. And it says he was living in Africa, Liberia, when he was taxable on 50 acres on Wilcox Mill Road, Charles City County from 1826 to 1830. And it says he was listed as a 40-year-old former resident of Southampton County on March 13th, 1825, when he immigrated to Liberia aboard the ship Hunter with Betsy, age 54, Cranston, 36, and wife Polly, 35, and Betsy Brown, 33. So we're getting some important information here. So these people actually went to Liberia, it sounds like willingly. And if anyone is ever curious on the, the Liberia stuff, Fold 3 actually has all the documents there listed about the passengers, all the whole setup and everything that they were trying to do back then from the colonization society. Panel, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Kind of sounds to me like going back to Ghana,
Right.
going back to Liberia, huh?
Yeah.
It's kind of redone in a different way, but in a different age, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
People need to wise up for real.
No doubt. All right, so next we got Betsy Harris, born say 1788. Next we got Polly, attorney in fact, with Elizabeth Brown and Edward Bowman, for a deed from Cornelius Brown to Reuben Brown, which was proved in court on December 20th, 1832. We got Sabrina. We got Lucy, mother of Ariana Brown, who registered in Charles City County on June 16th, 1831. Daughter of Lucy S. Brown, mulatto girl, 11 years old, third last month. Then we got Elizabeth. Okay. So it goes on to say Elizabeth Brown, born 1785, daughter of Dixon Brown, made James Brown Jr. and her brother-in-law, Edward Bowman, her attorneys to sell 10 acres of land she received by the will of her father, Dickson Brown. She was living in Liberia on December 18th, 1828, when they paid $20 from the sale of the land to her son, Richard B. Brown, who was living in Petersburg. She was the mother of. So we got Richard B. Brown, born 1805, living in Petersburg on December 18th, 1828. He was probably the Richard Brown whose account of sale was recorded in Charles City County on March 3rd, 1832, and included buyers Oliver Bowman, Molly Brown, Valentine Harris, Daniel Harris, James Brown, Peter Brown, Ed Bowman, James Brown Jr., Burrell Harris, Mitchell Harris, Austin Brown, and Reuben Brown. Then it says on February 16th, 1832, the court appointed James Brown guardian to his orphans, Pleasant and Cyrus Brown. However, Cyrus and Pleasant were called children of Dixon Brown Jr. when they registered in Charles City County on January 19th, 1832. All right. Next, we got Peter Brown, born 1797, received 1/3 part of 75 acres by his father, Dickson Brown's January 24th, 1811, Charles City County will, which was proved January 18th, 1821. In October 1826, he and his wife, Suzanna, appointed James Brown to sell their rights to 10 acres with Suzanna Harris. 1 second, y'all. And it says Suzanna Harris, deceased, received by Dixon's will. He purchased 7 acres adjoining his land from his brother James Brown on May 15th, 1828. He registered in Charles City County on August 18th, 1814, and renewed it in August 1832. Age 35, born free in this country, died 1842. And it says he made a November 1st, 1841 Charles City County will, proved December 15th, 1842. He left 10 acres, which he received by the will of his father, Dickson Brown, as well as $30 to his daughter, Harriet Harris, but noted that her husband, Valentine Harris, was to have no other control over the land than to live on it and cultivate it during her lifetime. He left a heifer to Harriet's son James Harris, left a horse and a cart to his son Albert Brown, left his wife Sarah 1/3 of the balance of the estate, and the remainder to his son Albert, who he named as executor. He was the father of. All right, so we got Harriet, born November 17th, 1819, registered in Charles City County on November 17th, 1831. Daughter of Peter Brown, yellow complexion, 12 years old, April 4th last. It says she married Valentine Harris and was listed with him in the 1850 census for Charles City County with their children James, Austin, Peter, Charles, and George Harris, and $40 in real estate. All right. Next, we got Albert, born, say, November 22nd, 1821, registered in Charles City County on November 17th, 1831. Yellow complexion, son of Peter Brown, 10 years old, November 22nd. He was a mulatto farmer with $90 real estate in the 1850 census for Charles City County with his wife, Martha, and children, looks like this Rice, Fleming, and Peter. All right, so next we got Carver Brown, born about 1791, registered in Charles City County on November 20th, 1817, and renewed it on June 20th, 1825. Bright mulatto, aged 34, born free in this country. He was head of a Charles City County household of 6 free colored in 1820. He was named in the April 10th, 1830 Charles City County will of his father, Isaac Brown. His widow was apparently Rebecca Brown, a 60-year-old mulatto woman counted in the 1850 census for the Charles City County with $90 in real estate, and children Walker, Pryor, Jasper, Francis, Nancy, and Robert Brown. They were the parents of. So first we got Walker, born April 9th, 1813, registered in Charles City County on March 16th, 1835, son of Carver Brown, brown complexion, age 21, April 9th last. Then we got Pryor, born about 1818, registered in Charles City County on March 16th, 1835, son of Carver Brown, brown complexion, age 17. Then we got Jasper, born about 1822. Then we got Francis, born about 1831. All right, panel, did you have anything you wanted to add, or you want me to keep it moving?
Yeah, I wanted to add something. I just found a little article. After I finish this, I have to get off. I have to take care of some family stuff.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
But I wanted to run this. I think you did come across a Reuben Brown. I don't know if you could find him back there, but
Yeah, I did.
I could have swore I heard of Reuben Brown. But I'm gonna read this real quick.
Okay.
The registration of free Negroes and mulattoes began in Virginia in 1793 with the passage of a law that required free persons of color to register with the clerk of court in the county where they resided and to carry their free papers with them at all times. Although the legal definition of mulatto changed over time, as first enacted in 1705, the term mulatto applied to a person who was 1/8 or more Negro or 1/2 Indian. By 1866, 1/4 Negro blood made a person colored, whereas 1/4 Indian blood made a person Indian. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That's interesting. Wow.
If records have survived, registrations of free Negroes and mulattoes commonly appear in 2 places, namely in the court minute or order books recording the actions taken by the court when in session, and in separate register which lists registrants by their certificate number. The earliest registers of Charles City free Negroes and mulattoes have been lost. But a register begun in 1836 which re-recorded earlier granted certificates has survived and is available on microfilm through the Library of Virginia. In 1836, register identifies a total of 1,802 residents issued certificates of freedom prior to the Civil War. The registrations contained is the digital archive. In this digital archive, nearly 800 were abstracted from the Charles City County Court Minute and order books spanning the time period between 1823 and 1864. The abstracts were first published in Charles City County Historical Society newsletter, issue 9, 14, 15, 16, and 17, and are reproduced in this format with the express permission of the Historical Society. These registrations contain the same source of information that would have appeared in the registers, as well as the names of the white residents who sponsored or testified to the applicant's free status. Now, they have a picture. This is on charlescity.org. They have a picture. It says, pictured Reuben Brown, registered March 21st, 1844, with wife Susan W. Harris Brown, registered July 20th, 1848, and their children, including sons Braxton and Powhatan,
Yeah.
registered October 18th, 1860. The Brown family left Charles City for Ohio before the start of the Civil War.
Now let me say something real quick. I'm glad you just read that because
Yeah.
Empress Hobart was wondering about Tennessee. So I'm thinking the Brown family probably hit Tennessee on their way, and some of them probably stayed there.
Yeah. Well, that was already like I said earlier, that was already confirmed that those Browns definitely came out of Virginia.
Okay.
But yeah, for them to go to Ohio, of all places, you know, so I would think that these people more than likely are our people, or maybe close by or something like that. But to have Brown and Harris as a last name, also I got information that these Pamunkeys, or at least some of them, were actually a break off from us and went on and did their own thing too. And then with the Chickahominy being related to the Pamunkey, and Charles City would also make sense too. So basically, these are all the same people.
Oh, gotcha.
You know? Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm even finding as I do genealogy, I'm finding like Pamunkey names in Halifax.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm finding yeah, and this is this, I believe this is pre 1800 also.
Wow.
So that even confirms more that the Pamunkeys and the Saponis are connected somehow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy as I put stuff together, man. I would say anybody that's into genealogy like that and doing genealogy, don't make the mistake that I make of not keeping a list of these names. It looks like I'm just gonna have to like dedicate a whole wall or something to all of these names and start writing all of these names down and like putting all of this stuff together. I made a mistake of not doing it, but now I am gonna do it. But for the people that are into the genealogy, if you come across these names, write these names down. If you find the tribes that are connected to these names and the counties that they're in, write it all down. Even if you're just doing your genealogy and it's not that serious, sometimes you have to write it down because it'll get confusing with all the different names and trying to keep track of dates and stuff like that. Sometimes you have to make a separate piece of paper, write it down, and also sometimes you have to start a whole nother tree when you see you know, if it says great grandmother but you don't know who the grandmother is and stuff like that. Sometimes you have to start another tree and work your way backward.
Definitely.
So,
Definitely.
yeah, man. I want to close by just because like I said, I have to go. By saying, yeah, I'm still doing the genealogy. For the people that I haven't finished or gotten to, there's a reason for it. Whether it be me, whether it be you. Some people sent me trees that were incomplete, etc. So I literally have to build your tree from start to even get to that point. So that could take months. You know, starting from a grandmother or great grandmother. Again, in April, I will be starting another challenge, but you can pay now for April. And like I said, it's $300. If you want to have access to me past a challenge or whatever, I charge $500. That's my regular price. So, you know, and I take payments and everything. You can make payments. I understand people can't pay, you know, like that or whatever. So I'll work with people, you know, and it's not all about money. I will be grabbing people here and there and doing their stuff for free, especially when I go on a hiatus, which I'm going to spend like 2 months just reading. So it's important that people get into it with me as far as the challenges and stuff like that, because the more that you help me, the more that I can help you or help someone else in the future. All right. So in order for me to take time off from the genealogy, I have to get the genealogy in, then take time off to read books, to educate myself more, so the people that come after you can get even more help. But I have to take that time off, which means I have to be able to feed my family in between. So just take all that in consideration when you contact me, that I do have a lot of other people that I have to deal with and different things like that. But I will help everyone. You may send me your stuff. I may be able to get your tribe in 20 minutes. It may take 3 months, 2 months, 6 months, but I will get it done somehow. If the information is there, I will find it eventually. So yeah, holla at me, lovelegacy400@gmail.com. And please keep it about genealogy, not about land, not about being free tax and all this other stuff. I'm here for genealogy, nothing else. I don't want to get with you. I don't want to hook up with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to do
site.
Yeah, it's not a dating site. I just want to do genealogy. That's it. So I don't want to hear what the Moors said and all of that kind of stuff. I'm here to do genealogy, find the facts, and you know, find the truth. That's it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Appreciate
thanks,
you
Opie, for having me. Thanks, Wanagi, Corey for joining. Follow those guys. Follow A New Breed. Follow Corey Mayo. Follow Wanagi. Follow Red Clay, Stephen Red Clay. He got some good videos. Follow me, Love Legacy 500. And you know, my best advice for any newcomers, man. If you hear any drama or anything like that, run away. Run away. We're here to do genealogy. We're here to find out history. We're not here to like or dislike anybody. I love y'all, and peace.
Peace, Legacy. Appreciate you, bro, for coming in today.
Appreciate you, bro.
So appreciate Love Legacy for coming on and doing this each week with me. Just wanted to say what's up to a few people in the chat. Tasha Z, peace, sis. Appreciate you being here. Mike Easton, OCO, appreciate you being here, bro. So what we're going to do is on the Brown family, I'm going to stop there for now where we were at, because we've been going almost 2 hours on it. Like I told y'all, it's a big family history. I'll pick up on it when we do this next week. But what I did want to do is I did want to show you guys the Santee family real quick and show you that we have found another correlation with another Indian tribe. So let me pull that up real quick and I'll go over that real fast. So me and I was building one day with the brother Kiowa, and we was just kind of going back and forth on some things. And he brought up the Santee Indians. And, you know, I was just like, okay, so that name's a little unusual too. So let me see if there's a family history on the Santees. So turns out there is. Again, you know, they're going to try to hijack us into being slaves and all this other stuff. But I just want y'all to see this real quick. So it says the Santee family. We got Samuel Santee. So as you can see, they already got his name spelled differently. It says he was born 1670, was one of Robert Caulfield's Negro slaves. And by his January 2nd, 1691, Surrey County, Virginia will, Caulfield directed that Samuel was to be free after 4 years of service. So again, 4 years of service. I thought, you know, Negro slavery was for life. Anyway, on January 11, 1695, 96, Elizabeth Caulfield confirmed his manumission in Surrey County Court. He may have been related to Robin Santee, So here we go with another different spelling. Negro, who sued Philip Ludwell, Esquire, for his freedom in James City County Court on April 21st, 1694. And it says he may have been the ancestor of. So we got Maul Santee, another different spelling, born, say, 1720, sued John West in Amelia County Court for detaining her child, Agnes, who was bound to serve Richard Hicks by him, so the West, contrary to her intent. The court ruled that John West delivered the child to her. Next, we got Samuel, born, say, 1735, sued by Robert Webb in Sussex County Court in June 1755 for £3, 18 shillings due by bond, with interest computed from September 11th. It says he and John Santee were titleable in Sussex County in 1756. He, Amos Newsom, John Munns, and James Pompey were paid on June 21st, 1757 for 2 to 6 days' diet as county soldiers and guards. He was an insolvent titleable in 1758 and 1760. And it says he was titleable in Sussex County in 1764 and took the oath of allegiance in Sussex County in 1777. And then it says Timothy, born, say, 1731, listed with Benjamin Tan as providing a credit of 7 shillings in the account that John Jeffries had with his merchant Hal Briggs before December 1754, when the account was proved in Sussex County. So again, we have the Tan family showing up as well, and we already did the breakdown on their surname. But the point of all this is that we got another family being put down as, as they are Negro slaves and all kinds of other different things. But the Santee, it says historically, the great majority of various Siouan-speaking tribes were found in the Great Plains state. Then it says they migrated and settled before European contact. So the Santee tribe actually says that they're historic Siouan language speakers from South Carolina. So if you know anyone or have this genealogy that shows up in your family history, just know that if it's spelled Santee or any variation of the word Santee, that you come from this original Siouan speaking tribe out of South Carolina. So that's what I wanted to say about the Santee family. And, one day, of course, I'll do a family history on it. But Wanagi or Kudameo, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I mean, that's just another one of those bombs you'd be finding, when you're doing your research. I mean, you found already, a lot of families which last names really were, Aboriginal last names, and people don't link those two together. So yeah, that's a good find.
Oh yeah. So I mean, a lot of people try to say that our surnames and different things are European, and I'm showing you that they're not. Of course, along the way they're going to go and change the spellings, and they're going to get all confused on how they can't pronounce the names and all kinds of different stuff. But the Santee family, again, it's another one that they were actually American Indian tribe, and the colonizers try to change their name and write a history that they were slaves and all this other nonsense. So
I just want to say,
go ahead, bro.
Shout out to all my South Carolina people out there in the chat, are originally from South Carolina. Just know that it's a lot of hijacks out here. We all know we're American Indians. We're from here. We've always been here. Genealogy will show you this. You can look at records and you can see during slavery, your family could read, could write. Remember, they told you they couldn't read or couldn't write. So just know it's a bunch of hijacks that go on. And make sure you're really looking at these records and knowing what's really happening out here. Because right now, us on this panel, other people that bring content out, people in the chat, we're rewriting our story, and know this and be able to show and prove. Always do your genealogy, period. But that's it.
My bad. Y'all probably didn't even hear me. So the picture I was showing is a Santee mound. That's near South Carolina. You know, that's in South Carolina near the Santee River. So that was actually built, you know, by those people, you know, who are part of that the Santee family. But like I was saying, I'm about to shut this down because we've been going on about 2 hours now. Again, next week we'll pick back up with the rest of the Brown family. And I'm going to let Kudameo and Wanagi get their closing statements. They're still with me.
Yeah, no, I just thanks for having me, Opemiha, and you know, good research. You know, it's good to know, and I bet a lot of people, you know, might relate or connect to this information, or in this one and the ones previous, you know, that you did. You know, it might help somebody. That might be somebody's family ancestor. So, you know, do your own research as well. You know, a lot of these guys are showing you and they're trying to help you as well. You know, even offering to help you. I mean, this can be done all by yourself, really, but if you just find it so difficult, you know, there's people willing to help. So thanks for the information, Opie, and peace to the chat.
Yeah, I just want to say peace and love to everybody that came through. Shout out to all my big bros on the panel. And just remember, it's called a family tree. So don't just get certain relatives. Make sure you get all your relatives. You want the leaves on the tree too. And make sure you support Opemiha for bringing this out. Support his channel. Hit the like button. You already know you could donate, everything else. But I love everybody. Feathers up, tribe up, wise up, rise up.
Appreciate you as well, Wanagi. Thanks, bro, for coming in and blessing the panel. Appreciate it. And for me, everyone, again, you know, I'm gonna keep on doing this every week. You know, we're gonna get into some how to do thing type videos. So those are coming too. So again, like I always ask, if you know how to, you know, if you got some certain skills or you know how to do anything, you know, show, and you can do a video to show it, you know, start showing us, you know, how to do certain things that we need. You know, anyone out there that knows how to, I'm gonna keep saying this, anyone out there that knows how to get ancestral land back, we need them videos. So if you got, you know, if you got the drop on that, you know how it's done, please, we need videos on that. If you know how to build things, if you know how to, you know, if you know how to grow food, if you know how to survive, you got survival skills. I mean, we need videos on all that. So again, you know, enough with the talking. It's time for us to start showing, improving. It's time for us to start showing each other, you know, how things are done. You know, again, genealogy is extremely important. So don't let no one tell you that it's not. Again, I understand that, not everybody wants to be part of the tribe, and that's cool. You'll never hear me complain or have any issues with it. That's just the route I chose to go. So if anybody is definitely interested in, learning about survival and different things like that, maybe our brother, A New Breed, he's pretty much an expert in it. Maybe he can give someone tips and pointers if they're interested. So just hit him up. But again, subscribe to each other, everybody in the chat. We got like almost 70 people up in here. So definitely subscribe to each other, support one another. And we'll come back next Monday or Tuesday and do this all over again. And I just want to say that, I love each and every one of y'all. And we're gonna make it through this. So just stay positive and keep pushing. One love, everybody. Peace.